Hello everybody, my name is Rainy Angel and welcome to my channel, Rainy Angel in Spirit. So today I wanted to make a video about my last OBE experience using the AYDA method. I did the protocol 1, which means when you fall asleep and stay aware as your body's falling asleep, you just keep your mind aware. So this happened when I decided to take a nap around noon, and I had the intention of meeting with my spirit guides, and the words that I said in my head were "take me home." I just said that once in my head, and I had my mask on, had my earplugs in, same thing that I do every time, and I started to fall asleep pretty quickly. My body started to fall asleep, just kept the awareness. So as I'm falling asleep, I'm kind of I kind of dip in and out of awareness when I do this, but just enough to keep the awareness and experience something. I just remember the first thing that I see as I'm just staring into the darkness was sort of a facial structure, like a face. I don't recognize the face. It wasn't my face as far as I am aware of, and I don't know what this face could have been. It could have been the spirit guide that came to me, or it could have been my true soul's face. Didn't really recognize it. Honestly, it kind of had masculine features. That's all I can say. So, and when I say I saw a face, it was dark, but what made out the features and the facial structure was light. So it was like this little bit of light, and it shone as a face. And then I started to hear voices talking to me. The first thing I heard was "Hello, Rainy. Hello, Rainy." And it was a man's voice that I've never heard before. Like, I know I've said in past experiences that I recognize like a couple voices and I've heard them a few times, but with this one, it was a different voice, and it was a weird voice. I will say that it was kind of a weird voice. I want to say that it almost had an accent. It was like a weird voice. I don't know how to explain it, but then I started to hear another voice speaking to me. Like, I heard that first voice in this ear, and then I heard the other voice in this ear. So it was like one talking here and the other talking here. And that first voice kept talking and saying things that I just don't remember what he was saying. And then the second voice said something that at the time, like, I recognized, but waking up from the experience, I don't remember. It was also another male voice that sounded younger. And I'm assuming that these are my guides, and I'm assuming that I know these guides or know these souls from somewhere. I just can't remember what they were saying. So, I go deeper into the method. My body is, asleep, and I feel myself floating and hovering above my physical body. And rather than rolling out, I decided to try to levitate out, but I kind of was pushing my arms back against the bed like this, and I started to come out a few times. Like, I was probably like, this is my physical body and this is my soul, so like I probably came up about this high, then fell back down, and I did that 3 times. I just kept falling back in, and then I was like, oh wait, why don't I just try rolling out? Like, every time I roll out, that seems to be the more efficient way for me to come out. So at this time, I was also trying to activate my soul eyes, and I don't think I was fully disconnected enough from my body to see through my mask, so I couldn't see. So I was just kind of like in the darkness, just feeling myself pushing myself out. Then when I decided to roll out of my body, I saw my arm right in front of me like this, like rolling out. So I was like, oh, I'm seeing through my mask. So my soul eyes are activated, and as I'm doing that, I see the Seraphim, who wears all black, a black robe, sitting on my vanity bench looking at me. And the blackness that he, like the darkness and the blackness of the robe that he's wearing is the blackest black that I've ever seen. Then I kind of smiled at him, and then I had a feeling that I was going to see him next to my bed, right next to me. And the magnetic pull was pretty strong, and you know, I was coming out and I was like going slow. Like even when I wanted to go fast, it was just because of the magnetic pull, I couldn't really go fast. Like I couldn't roll out fast enough. If I was in a deeper sleep, because when I've exited at night through sleep paralysis and my body's in a deeper sleep, I just come right out, no problem. Like there's not even a magnetic pull at all because my body's completely shut down. So usually during the day when I nap, depending on how tired I am, is what determines how strong the magnetic pull is. Like how slow your heart rate is, how deep of a sleep your body is, depends on how strong the magnetic pull is, from my experience. So that's why it's important to make sure you're as calm as possible and you're asleep, you know. So then, like, as I was thinking that he was going to be right by my bed, he was right there. And this time, seeing the Seraphim, he was not small like I was seeing him before. He was like an average man's height. And this didn't scare me at all because I've overcome that fear at this point. You know, some days I'm scared of something, some days I'm not. So I guess it just depends on, you know, how I'm feeling, what state of mind I'm in. So this time I didn't think twice about the size. I didn't care. I was just glad that I was able to see him. And he was standing right by my bed, and he looked different. Like the first time I saw him on the bench, and he was like black, like completely black. And then when I was looking at him standing next to my bed, like looking at me, he was, sometimes the memory is a little fuzzy, so he was still like that blackish gray color, except there was a blue glowing hue around him, and in like the details of his robe. So like it was like this, it kind of looked like electricity blue, like it was just like this color all around him, and then the details of his robe and his hands, like it was like this electric blue. And I was just looking at him, and then he held his hand out for me to take his hand, and his hand was really big. His hand was really big compared to mine. Like, you know, when you're a kid and you grab your dad's hand, and in your dad's hand, your hand is just this tiny little hand. It was like that. And his skin was completely black. Like this same black, like not African American black, like pitch black. His fingers were very long, and like his hands were very like strong looking, and like long fingers, and they almost came down out to like a point, like he had nails. And yeah, so I went to grab his hands, and I hesitated because last time I had like made a physical connection with him with his hand, it was this really strong electrical feeling. Not like electricity, like I'm getting electrocuted, but just this very strong like sensation of electricity, but not like to where it hurt. I hesitated, and I went like this. I was like and then I was like, no, stop being scared. So as soon as I went to grab his hand, I woke up and fell back into my body. So yeah, that was the experience. And you know, I just thought it was really cool because I have been setting the intention for quite some time now for my spirit guides to speak to me while in this method. It's happened a few times actually. They'll just talk and say things, you know. And it was cool because one time I asked them, I said, can you acknowledge me? I want you guys to acknowledge me. Like, say my name, or I want you to know that I'm here. Like, let me know that you know that I'm here, sort of thing. And so the fact that they said my name was cool. As time goes on, I get closer and closer to connecting with them and accessing what it is I want to access. So that was my experience. If you guys have any experiences with your spirit guides or the method coming out and seeing things, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Just let me know. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye.